really should be clipping stuff. I just forget. Like, I think I said it last time, but like, it's not necessarily me being like towards it. I think like sometimes it is, but like, I think most of it is just like, yeah, I genuinely forget to do that. Like, well, shoot, and like, I only remember like when it's like midnight or something like that. It's like, well, god dang it. I mean, it doesn't take that long, right? But still, it's just like, man. So I was thinking of like what I could post on Blue Sky, right? Because I'm like, like, the two reasons I'm on Twitter is like looking at Hololive tweets and politics, and like I think both of those are better. It's like I want the official posts too. Like I don't want, like, you also can still interact with them because they're not on Blue Sky. So if you post something, they most likely won't see it unless someone like reposts it to Twitter. It's like that's why I'm like, yeah, I probably wouldn't do anything there. But yeah, if Hololive moved over to Blue Sky and like post on there also, because the thing is, like, it's not even that hard either. You can just type the same thing twice, you know, like it's not that hard. And I'm sure there's probably like an extension or something that makes it so you can post on like multiple websites. If there's one that has it so like you can easily follow people on Blue Sky who has a Twitter, I would not be surprised if there was one that can make it so you post to on both sites. So like, it's not even that hard. I mean, yeah, it is a little tedious, but it wouldn't be that bad. Plus, also, I just feel like with how they are, like, Blue Sky would just be a lot better. Because, like, Hololive doesn't often have much controversy. Like, I think even the past year, they really haven't had much. Because I think the last big one probably was Magni and Vesper. That whole thing. Because I think that brought controversy. And that's been over a year. So, yeah, I don't think in this past year they've had any controversy, as far as I'm aware. But then again, also I haven't, I've only been watching the past like few months, obviously, so I would only know for sure in the past few months. I know people were getting upset with like why Ina can't stream on or work essentially in Japan, which is like one thing I'm just like, because also that's like one thing. I mean, I did point out I think a bunch of other stuff how they screwed Ina over, but like, that's the thing. It's just like, whatever, you know, like it sucks, yes, but you can work around it pretty easily. Like, I think Ina's already coming up with solutions to work around it, like, you know. And also the thing with Hololive is that it does seem like they do learn when they screw something up. Like they will learn from it, or like rectify it. So like, unless it's like a ongoing issue, like I don't think you should really worry about it too much. You know, that's how I feel about it anyway. I feel like it's rare because Hololive's like a rare like company that actually like seems to be good. You know, I mean, people are complaining about like Japanese contracts, but the thing is, like, we've not seen what those contracts look like, so it's like I don't want to even like get into that semantics. You know, 'cause, like, you know, we don't know it, so like it's just speculation at that point. Because yeah, that was like one main downside someone had with Hololive. It's like you don't even know what they look like. You know, like, I'm sure like the stuff we can see, if you criticize it, that's fair, but like we don't even know what the contracts are, and I don't think any of the members even like alluded to what they are at all either. You know, I think another thing is too, and it's important to know, is like Fubuki literally said that like Hololive will be fine as long as I'm still there, right? Like, I think once she loses faith in Hololive, she leaves. So like that's another thing too. If Fubuki leaves, then you know like the company's going. Unless it's like a retirement thing, but like, and like how Fubuki words it is like retirement, but like, yeah, no, if she leaves, then like, yeah, no, you know something's going. Something's happening. Which, yeah, obviously she's still there, so we're still good so far. Yeah, Yeah, I didn't think I would talk about much about politics. I was like, oh yeah, I'll get back and playing games and stuff like that. I had a game, I think, and I just completely forget what it was. Oh, I think it was just like an idle game while I was talking about stuff. That's probably what it was. Like, I was just like, I should probably be doing that. Which is entirely fair, because, like, it's better than being buried and just chatting, right? Like, you have a lot higher of a chance of getting spotted. I even like, was just scrolling through the VTuber section, man, like, and yeah, it's very easy to get buried there, too. It seemed to be also, like, Muslim play Minecraft. There's another one. And then, like, collab. Oh, FPS games, that's what it was. Yeah, it was like Minecraft FPS and collabs. Which, yeah, I guess those are what's popular on Twitch, but still, it's just like, that was like the main, like, the main stuff on there. It's like, huh, alright then. Yeah, I do want to make clips, so like, because I think also on Blue Sky, like, that's gonna just have better people, like, people who are more willing to want to watch me. They're not trolling, you know? It's like, I think that's where I would put clips, and like, yeah, maybe stream announcements. But I think, just other than that, I don't think I'll post my... Because the thing is, when I post on Twitter, it's like political stuff. Or like more serious stuff, so like, I don't think I'd do that. I mean, yeah, maybe if I think of something stupid, I'd post on Blue Sky, like, because, well, that's another thing too, but it's kind of hard, because, like, I do remember I was having a hard time, like, being like, oh, well, I want to post about, like, Hololive stuff, but, like, I very clearly had this brand of, like, talking about political stuff and all that, right? I was like, oh, how can I do that? And I was like, oh, Blue Sky, but they're not on Blue Sky. So again, like, I would have to repost it, or someone would have to, right? In order for them to see it. It's just like, well, god dang it. Yeah, they literally posted a sign saying how kind of lost our momentum, which is true. I mean, like, I even said it too, I think, last stream or something like that, but I feel like this is the worst. The Kamala campaign is the worst campaign in American history. Like, I feel like people would be like, oh, like, Trump's is worse because he lost rather, to Kamala, so by default then it's worse. But no, I think with Trump it was expected, is the thing. Maybe not to be as bad as it was, but like, it was still expected to be pretty bad, right? Like, even if it was like regular Trump, right? I think people would have expected a win from Kamala, and like a pretty convincing one. But like, yeah, no, how this has been going is absolutely terrible. And it's hard to say, like, what's... Because, like, even I was watching the Son vid where it was Stad, I think was his name. And he said, like, the polls aren't really the best way of, like, figuring out who's going to win. It's really the momentum. And it's like, yeah, because, like, the polls are so weird. And, like, they're just bouncing around all over the place, you know? Like, it's so hard to tell, like, what's actually happening, right? So, like, it's very odd. Like, I don't know how to feel. And it's weird because I feel better about myself. Like, I feel more motivated. And I guess it's just because, like, I'm not in complete, like, doomer mode or something. But it is weird because I wasn't before. And, like, this is looking worse for her. I guess me just, like, working out really helped that much. But, like, yeah. Because I'm learning now that I think I can use like 10-pound dumbbells. It does suck because the stuff at our house now is like too light for me, so I don't really like benefit from it. It's like, god dang it. I'm not realizing how expensive a personal gym can be. Like if you have the goal of getting stronger. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. It's like, well shoot, I can't really get much better here. Yeah, here Callie can do like 20-pound ones. Well, she's 11 to 22, which I assume when she said that was because before she mentioned she used 5 kilogram in each hand and then she went up to 10 kilogram in the one hand. I think that was probably what she was referring to, is the 11 pounds is the 5 kg, the 10 kg is 22 pounds. I assumed from, that's what I interpreted from it. Anyway. But yeah, this is this is so bizarre to look at. It really is. And I do think it is true that like it just entirely depends on how many people show up on election day. It's like, also honestly, if they were to go with an, like, obviously it's completely stupid and idiotic, but like if they were like wanting to give the conspiracy that the Democrats can control the weather, you could also just bring up the point, like, why didn't they do it like the day before the election, you know? Like, then like everybody in Florida basically couldn't vote, you know, and like NC and like the South, like Georgia, you know, like why did they do it a month before? I think even before it happened, before a lot of them could do early voting. It's like, why didn't the Democrats control the weather to hit it then, you know? Like, again, it's such a stupid argument, but that's another thing you can pull into that. If they still genuinely believe that, like, and you can't get that out of their head, you can just use that narrative. You know? It's like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Like, if they're using, like, saying that the Democrats control weather and, like, it's for them to help in the election, like, that doesn't make any sense. Or, like, the timeline when it hit. Because, like, yeah, they're saying it's because of the timeline it hit, but, like, that timeline doesn't make sense. When most of them are going to be voting on election day. So, when they do it on election day, like, strategically thinking, I mean, the Democrats are dumb, but, like, you know, and not the sharpest tool in the shed. Yeah, I don't know, because this one has a lot lower expectations for Kamala, obviously, right, than the previous two elections, where it had real high expectations for Biden and Clinton. So yeah, I don't think we'll know truly how this is gonna go until election day and the votes start getting counted. Yeah, that's another thing, is that Kamala will benefit from people not showing up on election day. That's another thing. Well, I think that was technically true with the other ones, but it's especially true now. Yeah, it's so weird. Like, I feel like I can't even do like analysis on it because it's so weird. I think Kamala did address the Arab community, like when she was in Michigan, but she didn't push any policy or anything. Like, it was better than what she has been doing, but it still wasn't, like, great, because she still didn't push for, like, a policy or anything. So yeah, that's another problem. I guess the thing is, too, like, I did see below that one person said, like, oh, like, I still wouldn't vote for her, she's lost the vote for forever. Which I'm sure that's true for some of them, right? But, like, I'm sure that's not true for all of them. Like, yeah, and I think I even says, like, before, I think when, like, she first just started doing, like, the same Israel talking point, but, like, and, like, listening to Uncommitted Movement, but, like, you're probably gonna all you're doing by doing this is just losing more and more of that uncommitted vote. And so like when you do it, you're still gonna get some people back, right? But like if you did it earlier, you would have gotten like more people back, you know? Because I think there's still some people who are waiting out for that, even like 2 weeks away, right? Like there's still some people waiting for like that policy change or something, and I think they'll wait until election day, and if it just doesn't come, then yeah, they're not voting. But if you do that like now, or even like a week from now, right, like they vote for you. And again, yes, you're losing people by the day probably, right? But like there's still some people out there who would vote for you, and when it's this close, any person would help at this point. Yeah. Yeah. It's not looking good. I think I did want to talk about though is that I saw on Twitter, you know, because of course it was on Twitter. Someone like basically just like saying that they don't want Lolicon and what's Shotacon is the male version in like their community. I think like they phrased it kind of not great, and like we're saying like just in general, but I think then they said like just in their community, which is fair, like, right? But that did get me thinking about like Lolicon, Shotacon culture. And I think it's true that there's some positives to it, right? And there's also some negatives. I don't think I phrased it the way I wanted it to, because like that's a very like obvious thing. Like obviously yes. But like I think people don't realize that people like will like stuff in fiction but not like it in real life. I think a big example for that is I think even a Hololive member said like they liked NTR in fiction but like they hated it in real life, obviously. I don't remember who said it, but that just stuck out to me. Like, because yeah, I think it was specifically NTR. And like I feel like that can also be applied to Lolicon culture. Now obviously I think there's some people who are going too far in, you know. And I'm sure like that's mostly the people that are being talked about when you bring this stuff up. But I think there's a way that it can coexist, right? And also make it so like it obviously doesn't happen in the real world, right? Like it, because I'm sure there it does have some correlation to like, you know, pedophilia. And like, you know, sexual assault rates going up, all that. But I think there is a way you can make it so like it still exists in the way it does now, but you can also make it so the rates go down. The reason why I say this is just because like for those people who do find it like, you know, that's like their sexual awakening, and like it applies also in the real world, they can then find out that they are that early on before they start doing it to someone. Now I think I did read that like oftentimes like they will do like act on it before you can see signs of it, but I do think that would help. I think is also like there's some people, and I think I'm one of them, that like will question if they're a pedophile from like just being like, oh, I enjoy this stuff, you know. Like the reason why I say that is because I even had a conversation, like I think I texted my mom that's how I felt, and my mom literally had to step in and tell me it's normal. And when I still talk to my dad, and like I don't remember if this was when I was getting dropped off at his house or not, I feel like it might have been, then he also was like, yeah, no, it's normal. Which those are POCD, which I think is just pedophilia OCD, again then the acronym for OCD. So yeah, I think I actually have that. But yeah, I think it can still exist, right? It can still enjoy, you can still enjoy it as a medium, just as like NTR. And I think Menhera also falls under the same category. I think with Menhera also, like, someone was saying like, don't make it your personality, just use it as a way to cope. And I think you can apply that, right? They took like one step into that culture, but like they aren't going off the deep end with that culture, right? They aren't taking it too far. And I think you can do the same thing with Lolicon and Shotokan, where like you can enjoy it, like even to the point of like lewdness. But I think like it should stop once you are starting to make it like you're blurring the lines between fiction and reality. I think that's when it should stop. Because my thing is like, I think it would help not have those feelings to an actual child if they did it to a fictional one. And I feel like it's just better, you know, I think we can all agree, like it's better if you have those aspirations towards a fictional character than a real person. And the thing is, I feel like I have that too with like not Lolicon, but like just other fictional female characters, you know? You feel way more attached to them, and I think it's just because like you can't interact with them, so technically like however you want to treat them, like they would submit in a way, which I feel like for a male that's like very desirable. So I think there's that. And also like with Rule 34 culture too, like I feel like if you get sexual gratification from it, like that's fine, because again, like I feel like it's fine as long as you don't put it out on someone else. Yeah, like you're into like rape, sexual assault, stuff like that. Like if that's your way to like cope with that and make it so you don't send that to the real world, then like that, I'm cool with that. You know, that's my opinion on it, because I do think that that helps. And the thing is also like with me, you just have to look at this with a lot of nuance, right? Because like there is a lot of nuance to this, right? This is not a simple topic. This isn't like a simple like yes or no, right? There's a lot of layers to it. And like I was even looking at, I think it was Friday night, after stream, because that's when I saw the tweet. Like there's a lot of layers to it. I feel like it's just not a simple like morality good or bad question, because like that's the thing too, you bring up real or fiction, and like then like that kind of blurs the lines, right? And like yes, you could still see it as weird, right? Like that they're looting this child, but like I feel like I'd rather it be a fictional child they're doing it to than a real one, you know? Like if they have to loot the fictional child so they don't do it to an actual child, then like I feel like that's fine. I mean, maybe if there's other ways they can do it, you know, like to get help, then like yeah, maybe also pursue that. It's just like I just feel like there's a lot of nuance to it. I don't know. Like I'm not saying child pornography is good. I'm just saying like if they're doing that as a way to make it so they don't do it to an actual child, that's what I'm more saying. Like that's my stance on it. And it's like the same with like Rule 34, right, as well, you know? Like yeah, that's how I feel about it. Because I think it is good in the way that like you can figure out like, oh shoot, I might have this, right? Like this might be a part of me, so then you can deal with it that way. And I think it's also like, I'm pretty sure not all Lolicon is necessarily lewd or like sexual, you know? Like even just looking at like Lolicon VTubers, like I don't think that happens. Maybe with some people, but like I think with most people, like especially like Gura, like I don't think people have that with Gura, because Gura is like a Lolicon, but I don't think people feel that way towards Gura, right? And I say most people. It's like I'm sure there are some people out there that like that. Yeah, that's just how I feel about it. There's just so much nuance. Like, I feel like with life, you just can't look at stuff in black and white. You have to look at it from a lot of nuance. Because the thing is also, like, I truly don't think there's a rule that applies to everyone. Like, there's always exceptions to a rule, right? It doesn't apply to everyone. So, like, when you think of the nuance of it, right, then, like, that's how you can make society better. Because then you can, like, make those nuances, like, a reality. And then it's a lot better. So, like, that's more of what I'm trying to do, is, like, try to find nuance into it. There's also sometimes therapy just doesn't work. Also, so, like, maybe this is another way that, like, it can help them. So, like, yeah, you just have to find a lot of nuance and, like, take life as, like, there's just a whole lot of gray area, a whole lot of nuance. There's so much to it. It's so complex. And, like, I get people don't like to think that hard, right? They just want simplicity. But I do think the world would truly be better if, like, we would, like, take the time and think about stuff, you know? And, like, I'm not, like, hating on the person who said that. Like, they don't want in their community, that's fine, you know? Like, I understand that. That's their preference. Same with, like, the VTubers that don't want, like, Rule 34 or of them, or at least, like, see it. You know, like, that's fine. As I said, though, like, it's probably still gonna happen. It's just, like... Because you can't perfectly police that stuff, but... Yeah. It's their preference, you know? That's also why I think for those VTubers, they still should have a Rule 34 tag anyway. Even if they don't like that art. Just because, like, it still gives the people, like, who want to draw that stuff, like, the creative freedom to do it. But, like, obviously you just don't want to see it. Because I think that's more the main thing. Like, I'm sure people are still drawing, like, if they don't want Rule 34, they're still drawing it of them. They're just not posting it. You know? So, like, I think there's a difference with that. Or they're just at least not posting in a way where they can see it directly. I'm like, yeah, is it, like, disrespectful for them? Like, yes. Because, like, you're just actually breaching what they're saying, but it's just gonna happen. It's what it is. Especially since I think it's more creative driven. Like, I think that's gonna make it even more likely that it's gonna happen. I think it's also why I just generally don't care, like, as I'm learning more about, like, lewd art. Like, because if it's also for, like, sexual gratification for them, and, like, that's a way they can get through the day like that, and, like, not take it out on other people, you know? Like, I'm also cool with that. Because, again, maybe necessarily I don't want to see that, but, like, if it helps them, then, like, that's fine. You can do it. I don't know, maybe because I've also watched Press on John's streams, and, like, he's, like, pretty alright with it, pretty cool with that stuff. Like, maybe that also helps, like, with my freaking thought process of it, in my opinion on it. But yeah, like, it's just whatever, man. Like, yeah, I think I've just kind of stopped caring about, like, that kind of stuff as well. Because the thing is also, like, your audience is an audience. They're not going to necessarily, like... Yeah, you're going to have a few sour apples, but, like, that's fine. That's just life. Like, maybe that's why my view is that way. It's just because, like, there's always going to be those few bad apples, right? Like, it's never going to be that way. Like, maybe it's also because, like, I'm just so interested in crime, too. Like, crime rates and looking at that. And why crime happens. And, like, realizing, like, yeah, it's never gonna be, like, 0, right, the crime rate. Like, I think that's part of it. That made me come to the conclusion of just, like, there's always gonna be a few bad apples. And you just have to deal with that. So, like... you know, I'll just let them do whatever they want. Like, I'll tell them, like, it's not probably not the best thing to do, right? But, like, I mean, it's their life. They're gonna live it how they live it. And especially, like, if it's, like, an audience member, right? Like, so in my community, like, I mean, you know, it's just gonna happen. Like, I don't know them personally. I don't even know what they look like, sound like, right? Like, I probably never will, right? So, like, also, it's like, why would I bother? You know? Now, if it's someone, like, in person, I feel like that's different. But, like, if it's, like, a community member or something like that, or, like, someone, like, you probably won't see in your lifetime, or, like, get to meet in your lifetime, like, I feel like it's, like, whatever. You know? You just kind of move on. And be like, oh, neat. And just move on. You know? Because I feel like also that's just gonna make you a much happier person. Because I feel like you can probably feel like betrayed by that, you know, because like they're disrespecting you, right, which is not great. But like, I feel like if you also just take it from the mindset of like, oh, whatever, it's bound to happen, right? Like, then I feel like it's just much happier, you know. Yeah, obviously in like your own circle, like if you don't want to see that stuff, then like yeah, enforce it in that circle. But if it's on like 4chan or something like that, like yeah, no, come on. Let's not worry about that. Like yeah, if they want to post that stuff, like they can post that stuff. Because the thing is also like it could help them get a job too, right? Because people can see how good their art is. That's another thing. Because I'm sure it's like a very good drawing too. So that's also why I wouldn't necessarily care about like Rule 34 stuff of like me or like any characters I made or something. Well, okay, I should say not every character because I have made female characters, so I feel like that one's more up to females if they're more or less like if they feel okay with that. But yeah, I think with like Liam and like the ones that are clearly based off of me, I wouldn't care. Yeah, that's just how I feel. Again, I just think it's much better. And I think also it's just because of Twitter. Twitter's just gonna be Twitter. Like I've just learned to just be like, yeah, just don't really care about like what a lot of people think. Because a lot of times they're not there to have a productive conversation with you. The people you really should do it with are the people who are willing to hold a conversation or like listen. On Twitter, there's a lot of people who don't. So yeah, I think that's also where I just developed that mindset. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it to actual people in the real world I meet, right? But like on the internet, I'm probably just gonna have that mindset. And I think it is the healthiest mindset to have on the internet. Because as I said many times, like there's always gonna be those bad apples. You can't perfectly police that stuff. And so it happens like not at all. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. Yeah, there was also another thing on Twitter where Jax Films just it seemed like he just made a video like kind of giving constructive criticism to Fillion on like, you know, like it was with the Reactgate style stuff, right? So like basically not like stealing content. I think from what I heard from what people on Twitter were saying, because I wanted to see the video, but it's not on YouTube. At least I don't think it is. It might have been re-uploaded to YouTube actually, but let me. Someone just if I type in Jax Films Fillion though, I'll probably just bring up like a drama video, but oh well. Oh yeah, it's literally the second thing. Oh no, he did upload to YouTube, it's just on a different channel. Yeah, it seemed like I mean I think he's poking fun at it, right? But I think also he's just like trying to help so like people don't. Yeah, like Jax Films does not seem like a guy who's just trying to be a drama tuber, right? Like, I don't... He doesn't seem like that type to me. It's like, I do believe when he's just trying to give constructive criticism. Like, yeah, sure, maybe with the bingo, like, it seems like he's just making fun of it, right? But I think he's just trying to be a content creator as well. And I think from what I saw on Twitter, people were just saying, like, he basically was just asking her to, like, credit people and, like, maybe do more stuff during the react part. So it's, like, more transformative and more actually, like, her content. And, like, that was it. And the reason I bring this up is because Pippa then just put on Twitter that he's a drama tuber like Keemstar, but is more creepy, which is insane. Especially when people showed what Keemstar did. Like, that's insane. And yeah, it did seem like it was because she didn't like BetterHelp, which is fair. BetterHelp sucked. But it also seemed like she had like a sponsor that was like equally as bad as well. And like, yeah, it's just the whole thing of like, I think we should learn to be able to take constructive criticism well, or like yeah, again, maybe with the bingo, I can see why people like maybe felt that way. Yeah, he says no bullying people on the bingo cards. We're hoping for a good ending. Right, so... yeah. It's very interesting. Yeah, I just don't think... I don't know, man. I just think it was like way too like of a nuclear response, you know? Like that was way too nuclear. Cause like, yeah, I think he's just trying to help her. And like being like, okay, so like here's how you can maybe like not steal content. Or like it be perceived as that, right? Like I think he would probably be more charitable than most people in like the React Gate sphere, right? So I think it's just such a weird thing to do. Just to like completely go at him and go for his throat. Because they also like brought the BetterHelp thing, but I think he's no longer sponsored by BetterHelp is another part of it too. So like, I don't know. It's really bizarre. It's just my thing. That was what was odd to me. That was really it. Yeah, I think like people just don't take constructive criticism well now. Like people just like take any criticism as like, you know, like very, very badly. And I do think social media has definitely played a big part of that. Like, yeah, again, it didn't seem like he was doing anything bad. Like, it just seemed like he wanted to help her. It's really weird. I feel like I have more to say about it, but like, now I'm just kind of like, eh, whatever. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, React content, just kind of like do it. That's also why like I'm worried about like doing React content, because then people will like accuse me of stealing it because I don't have anything to show my reaction, right? Like I don't have my actual face, I don't have a VTuber model. It's like I can't really show my reaction that way. But so that was a part of it. I think if it's like a topic I care about, then like I could. But I don't think I could do it if it's just like, oh, try not to laugh type content, you know? I don't think that I could really do. Like it would have to be like content that's in my wheelhouse, which to be fair, I feel like my wheelhouse is pretty small actually. All things considered. Like when I think about it, I'm like, man, I really don't know a whole lot. I'm just an idiot on the internet. Like, I'm sure like majority of the people on the internet. Except I think, you know? I use my brain. I guess also just to end with the like hunting, I think I did open until like I explained myself, but like my whole thing with that was just like, I feel like there's a way where lolicon culture could exist how it does now, and like still make it so the negatives don't show from it, right? That was what I was kind of getting at. And same with like Menhera stuff too. Like I think the content that is being made and like the fictional stuff that's being made, like, you know, the fiction side of it and like you enjoying the fiction of it can still be like enjoyable and like fun, but yeah, with getting the negatives and like taking it too far and making it like show up in the real world type of stuff. That's more of what I was getting at. Because like I also just wouldn't want to take people's like entertainment away. Like that's actually like what they like the most, and like I wouldn't want to take that away from them. I mean, again, obviously you don't want to make it too real and like, you know, blur those lines of fiction and reality, and like so you actually start doing that stuff, right? But like if that's their favorite entertainment and like fictional stuff, but still understand it's like bad and like not great, like I wouldn't want to take that away from them. I don't know, maybe that's too libertarian of me. Because yeah, you also can't really look at like rape statistics, because it's very hard to get data on that. Because oftentimes rape victims don't admit that they were raped. So, yeah. That's another thing. I feel like if I say this kind of stuff though, like this is the stuff that if I run for political office is going to be used against me. And it's just like, I'm looking at it from a lot of nuance, but I know people aren't going to do that. They're not going to like actually think about it and like think of like the complexities of life, you know? Which is why it's harder for me. Again, I'm not saying like I have like, I'm just intellectually superior, right? Like I'm not, I'm an idiot. But like I'm very dumb. But I'm more just saying like, you know, if people would just think more, you know, like I think that's why I would be perceived as smarter, is just I think about stuff, you know, that's the only reason. And like why like the stuff I talk about sounds pretty complex, because like I think about it. That's like the only difference. If you were to actively like think about this stuff and like and just think about stuff in general and life in general, like then I'm sure you could be on the same level of having these kind of conversations, instead of just being like black and white and being like this right, this wrong, you know? Like you look at it and be like, well, actually, like let's actually dive into it, you know? And I get like our school system, I feel like is the biggest culprit of that, and like how we're taught, it's not great. But yeah, I feel like honestly what we're taught in school, because I feel like in America, like we should be taught foreign languages at like elementary. Just because like that's when you learn the fastest, right? And I feel like it's always so hard to learn a language, especially in a classroom setting. So I feel like that would be like the best time to do it. Like, yeah, sure, maybe it would be weird with like having learned English alongside that, but I feel like there should at least be an option if they want to learn a other language. Or just more creative stuff in general. I feel like elementary and middle school should be when you find out what you want to do in life. Right? I mean, maybe high school too. But like, I feel like high school should prepare you for that, and then college is like when you're locked in, you know, with what you want to do. And like, yeah, high school builds the building blocks for that. Where like elementary, I feel like would be just getting the basics down, and like, you know, if you want to do something in life, like that's where you figure that out. Maybe middle school, actually. Middle school might be that. Elementary is just like getting the basics down, stuff like that. Middle school would be like figuring out what you want to do. Or like not necessarily figuring out what you want to do, but just like trying different things out and see, being like, oh, I like this, or and whatnot. And then I think high school would be that, like more asking of what I want to do, which I guess is what they're trying to do, but they're failing, I feel like, very badly. Yeah, that's how I feel like it should go anyway. And also like use your brain more in classes instead of just being told information and be like, yep, this is how you do it, follow it. Because that also, like, yeah, that's what makes freaking us not like lose critical thinking skills, or I guess like never develop it. But yeah. It is crazy how what is it? Oh, yeah, Elon's just kind of like, at this point you're like, yeah, no, I'm just gonna help Trump. Like that's crazy. Also, I like how Trump's just straight up working at McDonald's now. Just like, yeah, sure, why not? Alright. Oh yeah, that was another thing I wanted to point out too, is like, I feel like if Kamala does win, it's because of all the progressive Democrats that's actually campaigning for her and not Kamala. Like AOC, Greg Casar, freaking Bernie. Like, I feel like it's those people that Kamala has to thank for if she wins. And not necessarily her. Like, it should have been her, but I feel like at this point, if she wins, like, it's thanks to those people mostly. Like, they're doing a better job of campaigning for her than freaking Kamala is. Or Obama, for that matter, too. Like, yeah, if this is how, like, Greg Casar, AOC, and, like, Bernie are campaigning, I mean, Bernie's probably gonna be out of the picture, but, like, if AOC and Greg Casar are like this, like, with campaigning, and, like, they're not even the president, like, imagine what their presidential campaigning would be like. Like, it would be kind of nuts. Like, they're only representatives at this point. Yeah, my friend does say that, like, he doesn't see a possibility, at least anytime soon, of, like, you could elect people past, like, socialism, like Nordic socialism. Like, that's as far as democracy would go to the left. You have to, like, have a revolution to go further left. Which, I don't know, maybe it's a bunch of hopium for me, but I just feel like if you have the internet work like how it does, like even on like Blue Sky where it's like all this positivity and all that, it's like great. Like I feel like then and you also don't make it so the fascists don't, all the social media sites, like the big ones anyways, then I feel like right-wing propaganda doesn't really have any foothold. I mean, I guess on Fox News it still does, but like I feel like it's taken all less seriously. It's like kind of back to like Obama, right? And like before that, like before the Trump era. It's like, I don't know. And like I could only see left-wing ideology gaining more ground because like again it's anti-corporation, but like we have the internet now where a lot of that can have more of a foothold, right? A lot more like people can make a name for themselves just based off of that, right? So like I think it's different. Like again, like I think Twitter has to be burnt to the ground first, but or someone else has to buy it off of Elon that's not a fascist, but I do think like that change is possible. I think it's possible to go further left because the thing is also like the internet, you can keep building the momentum too. I feel like oftentimes, and going back to like the 1910s 1920s or like really when the progressive movement was going on, like I think a lot of it just kind of lost steam because people didn't really know in the next progressive thing to keep going for. But I think since the internet's there, like you have people that are like there to be like, okay, so this is the next progressive thing. And it can keep like gaining momentum, right? And like always remind people about like these progressive ideas, right? Because the thing that's crazy is like progressive ideology actually works. It's actually popular. You know, it might sound crazy, but yeah, it's actually very popular. Almost like people want their lives to be better. Like even like from a selfish perspective, like if you know like a middle class person who's more selfish, they still probably would like those more because it still helps them personally. You know, like there's also that. I do think also like more people came out to like Democratic primaries and like if progressives were more keen to run, that would help out a lot too. I'm sure nice. Yeah, I feel like it would be very beneficial. I mean, the reason why I was looking at the VTuber section also is just because, like, oh, maybe I'll find someone new to, like, watch or something like that. But then I realized, like, because again, like, I made note of, like, games they were playing. It was either, like, collabs, Minecraft, or, like, the FPS games. I'm like, well, those people probably don't care. Like, that's the thing that sucks is, like, I even say, like, oh, like, I go in these complex conversations because I think. But, like, the thing is also, like, people, I think, stream for entertainment purposes, which that was why I started. I do want to make that clear. That is why I started, was like to entertain people. But at this point, like I'm so into like complex conversations. Like I think there is an audience, right? It's just super hard to find one. And also like people to collab with, because I know people don't necessarily like to have those conversations. Like they use like streaming as like an escape from that stuff. But I think the last thing they want is someone to remind them about that stuff. Which is annoying. I mean, I think I could collab and just have fun on a game, right? But it's just like, I don't, well, first of all, I don't really have any games to collab with people on, right? And like, I think I could really let it loose. It's like the way I said with the Hololive stuff, though. It's like, if I were to become like a member of Holostars, I would have to like negotiate like me being able to make like do another channel on the side, right? Like a Twitch channel or something. Because like there's no way I would not be getting political, you know, if I didn't. Which I know is something they probably want to avoid. again, I'm sure it's purely an entertainment thing. So yeah, it's like the main reason I think I wouldn't make it. That's just how I feel about it anyway. Like, I would want to join, but I just think it'd be a liability for them if I did. Because, like, I don't even know about auditioning is the thing either. Because I'm very bad at keeping stuff secret. Like, I'm being fully honest, you probably could figure out where I am pretty easily. It's probably not even that hard. I'm very bad at keeping stuff secret and, like, not doxing myself. And I'm sure it's another big part that goes into Hololive, is to not dox yourself. I mean, yeah, I think some of them, like, their faces are decently, like, available, right? Like, it's not too hard to find them, right? But it's more just, like, you know, where I live, stuff like that. You know, like, other personal information. So yeah, I'm probably just gonna have to forever stay a fan, you know? That's fine.
I'm a sushi chef. I also happen to be
It would be very interesting, like, obviously I would hate for it to just, like, collapse, you know, Hololive, and, like, it's like BlackRock buys them out or something like that and just completely destroys it. I would be very interested to see how all of the Hololive members do indie. Like, if they'd be more open to, like, showing their face and stuff like that. I think a lot, like, barely any of them would, but you know, I think it would be interesting to see how they take that and, like, who they would collab with also. Because yeah, that would be very interesting. But yeah, obviously I wouldn't want to see that happen the way it does. Like, you know, but that would be at least kind, I guess, like a maybe a positive if you want to look at it that way, right? Or if that does happen. It's like, yeah, that's a bunch of combinations now that just opened up all of a sudden. Yeah, Hololive really is the WWE of the VTubing industry. It really is. Yeah. Oh yeah, what's funny, I did see Full Moco pass 1.1 million, and then I looked, I think like yesterday morning or something like that, at like Jared's sub count. I was like, oh, Full Moco passed Jared, that's interesting. And then on his stream thing he put, I just hit 1.1 million. I was like, okay, well, never mind. I mean, Full Moco price still is have more, but like it was funny. I was like, wait a minute. I thought I just looked to it instead of 1.09. Yeah, I think Jared hit a million like over a year ago at this point though, right? I think he did. So it's kind of crazy that it took him until then to get another 100,000, but I also wonder how much like drumming covers to the VTuber community helped him. That's another thing I'm curious about. I have no idea. I need to figure out something to do, man. I was just like, I had games and I was like, I don't know, man. Like, I just forgot them. I think it was just like a bunch of chill games, so like I could still just be talking while playing a game, having something in the background. Yeah, I can't remember at this point, really. Like, it's also why I feel weird about rating people too, because like I feel like people be like, oh, I want to check out your channel, and then just be talking about serious topics. And it's like, well, you know, I mean, I do think like every friend group kind of needs the person who's like looking at serious topics and like opens up that discussion, right? And like is able to talk about this stuff. But I just think in the world of content creation, it's not great. I think that's also why it's hard for me to like gain an audience too, because just like, oh, like maybe collab with smaller streamers, but it's just like, well, I feel like the vibes don't really match, you know? They don't mesh well. But yeah, maybe that's just underselling me, like the ability for me to not talk about politics or like serious topics. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I'm pretty sure I basically completely stopped watching Neuro because of that. Was it because people were like super upset when she said she watched this on or whatever? Which I think there are some Asmongold fans in Neuro's chat, which if that were the case, that makes sense. I just don't get Neuro's chat because like they just spam emotes the entire time and like I just don't get it. But again, I think that's me like because I just like thinking and like that's not thinking at all is the difference. So like, yeah, I'd hate it because of that then. I'm just like, what the frick, man? Yeah, apparently he's added a bunch of new stuff to Neuro because like I kind of stopped watching her again. I just like watched like 1 or 2 streams back. But I think he made it so now if your DMs are open, she can just call you. It's like crazy. It's like, oh, all right then. Yeah. Oh yeah, and also she can use the internet. I didn't see the part where the first thing she googled about Vettel was if she was single. It's like, dang, that's a true Hololive watcher right there, Neuro. First thing he asks is he single? The true Hololive watcher. Hololive viewer. Does that just become a meme in the VTuber community as a whole, or is it just Hololive? I actually don't know. Because I don't really watch people outside Hololive, because again, Hololive's massive. Yeah, I have no idea if that has just become a general VTuber meme, or if it's just become a Hololive meme. I also watched it, like it was obviously a while ago, but like the Jajang My Soul thing. I didn't realize actually it started from Bay actually being super upset, like Kylo just trolling Bay essentially. And her just getting super angry with it. I think that's why it was more of a joke. It's just because like people noticed how upset freaking A was with it. And like Kylo just completely trolling. I think that's probably part of it for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I do know Narissa, like just going back to the like Rule 34 stuff, I know Narissa is one that like kind of encourages, I think. But I think it's also because she likes seeing it. is the difference. Elizabeth's making a new cover. Neat. Yeah, I think when I'm gonna make a Hololive spot like that tier list, I think I'm gonna pretty much do originals unless like there's a cover that like really stands out. Like I know people said the Kobo Overdose cover was like really good, so I might include that one. But yeah, I think if unless it's like a cover that did really well or something like that, I'm not gonna include those. because I think was it Roboco or ASCII, one of the two, like literally just had a new original like a day or two ago. It's like, ah, shoot. And then made me realize, oh god, there's gonna be so many, aren't there? It's probably gonna have to be a multiple stream endeavor. And then there might be even new freaking originals that come out and I have to include them. Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to wait until the Halloween one came out. That's the one I'm waiting on. Which, yeah, they still haven't had a release date for it, which I think I said before, but I'm pretty sure it's just because they're waiting on like the video. This is what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I may have farted. Yeah, I think it did feel a lot better from like working out. I'm pretty sure I did. Cause like I was feeling really good despite like what was going on with the election. So yeah, I think that was definitely a huge part of it, was the working out part of it. Well, I think the more it was just like I was noticing progress, because like, yeah, as I said before, like I was noticing like the stuff that we have in house is actually like too light for me at this point. So I was like, oh shoot. Like I actually am improving. Again though, it just makes me realize how expensive a personal gym would be. Well, I guess the dumbbells aren't like super expensive. I assume like, you know, if I were to go for like a 10-pound dumbbell or something like that, they're probably, yeah, they're like $15. Oh, actually, I think we have this, and this is only $5. Yeah. Oh, the 20 is 35 though. How much is the 10-pound? 18. Why are the heavier ones expensive, like more expensive? That seems like not fair. I guess because there's more in it, like it probably just costs more to make, right? Because there's probably more in it. But still, come on. Man. I think also though it's probably fine for me to be a Hololive fan, because like I've thought about doing covers of like pop songs and just inserting like just cosplaying as like Hololive members as like the stand-ins for the music video, or like make a video based off of the song and like the certain Hololive members. And like, yeah, obviously if I was a member of Hololive I couldn't do that. I feel like it'd be very fun to do. The only problem is like I'd have to commission people to make the cosplay, which is even more money, and also probably to like make the music video look good. Yeah, just a lot more money. That's the thing, man. It's just like I have all these ambitious ideas, but like I just can't do them because I have no money. Like I can't even start them. Like it sucks. And like I am planning on getting a job in college, right? It's just like I want to still kind of have free time in my childhood is the main thing. Like but like yeah, once I think that next summer's over and like I start college, I'm probably gonna look for a job. And I think I said it before, but yeah, I think I'll do like my necessities first, and then like I'll just invest it into streaming from like then on. Although actually I think I do need to pay a little bit to pay off my student debt. Yeah, and then I would do that. I'd probably just include student debt with the necessities. And then the rest would be investments. I don't know if I could pay an editor, man. I have no idea. I don't think I would pay him enough, is the thing. If I were to work like just like a retail job or something like that, I don't know if I'd get paid enough to be able to pay an editor, like hire one. I think that's one, unfortunately, I just have to come later. I'm making like a comfortable amount of money. Yeah, ask my brother if he would want to edit videos, and he asked a clarifying question. I responded, and he hasn't answered since, so that's a little annoying. I do know there was someone though that like I'm acquaintances with the school that I think said they would be interested in like messing around with editing. I can maybe bring that up with them, see if they'd want to screw around with it. The only problem is because like I don't stream stuff, so like you're just looking at the same thing, and it's not very interesting to see, you know. And it's also like very hard to tell then like what clip is what, you know. Like I have the title, but like if you're to look at my shorts side by side, they're probably like gonna look the exact same. Because it's like it's the same aesthetic. It's just I don't want to do anything while streaming. It's like it's very obvious. This last like God, it's been was that 12 streams? It's been talking. And even past that, like last time I played a game really on stream was over a month ago. I've just been talking since then. Good lord. I played Cookie Clicker that one time. Jesus. I don't stream games on this anymore. Good lord. That has become clear. Clear as day. Jesus. My God. There's more people watching Cookie Clicker. Yeah, it's insane. I do think though, like, I just need that one person, you know, to like stay with me and watch stuff, which I think like with how complex like my conversation can be usually, if someone also likes doing that, then like they would stay around, right? And once I have that one person, like then I can get more people and like bring them in, and then eventually I can start growing. It's just I don't have that. I think that's why idle games would probably work. Because like I feel like with idle games, you're not watching it for the idle game. You're watching it for the person streaming it. Although there is one that says AFK Cookie Clicker that has 2 viewers. Like I don't know. But like my guess would be if you're watching a idle game, you're watching for the streamer. You're not watching for the idle game itself. Like, you know what? I'm just gonna open up Cookie Clicker again. So it has something and just move over to there. Ugh. Why did I say cooking? Cookie Clicker. Well, maybe yapping. Yeah, I should definitely clip stuff and then upload to Blue Sky as well. I just don't know if it has to be in portrait or not. I don't think it would have to be. I feel like it could probably be in 16:9. Yeah, I definitely should like take like clip stuff on Twitch and then just post it on like Blue Sky and stuff like that. Because again with Blue Sky, there's not as many people on it, right? So it's a lot easier. Yeah, I do need to start experimenting with stuff, and I even said that too, and I haven't. I just straight up haven't. Just like, I don't know how to experiment. Especially when you're by yourself, you know? Like, and you have 0 people watching. Because like, I feel like a lot of times, the stuff I'm thinking of, like, I either need like a chat or like other people to play with me. Or just like other people in general, and I don't have that. I was like, well, shoot, dude. Like, it's so hard to come up with something. I guess it's just like, theoretically, it's just like, it'd be the same as like recording something, right? So like, what is something I could do with that as well? But I don't know, man. I can't figure it out. I think that's why I need like at least a few more people, because it's just like a few people watching chat, so then I can do something. I can get something going with that. It's just like I can't figure it out right now. Because I was even saying that with like reacting to clips like on stream instead of like just watching them off stream. Like that's also hard to do. Oh yeah, didn't I make this game capture? Yeah, I did. Oh, it actually works now, so it captures the mouse, yay. Yeah. It's real hard. Hopefully this, like today, I spend the time to look back at like last week's streams and clip stuff. Cause I think I'm already kind of running out of stuff to watch on YouTube. And, like that's my problem too, is like even when I run out of stuff to watch on YouTube, it's like I still go on YouTube and just like watch like stuff I've watched already. And like sometimes it's not even clips, dude. It's like I think sometimes it's even like whole streams. Like I think John's Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix, I think I've watched it like 3 or 4 times. I don't think recently, but I watched that whole stream like 3 or 4 times. Or at least that segment of the stream, if it was a segment. So yeah, it's not great. See, I did that with one video, I remember, like in like 5th grade or something like that. It was the Smosh like categories ice bucket one that Damien and Joven did. That's the one I remember when I was younger, but like, yeah, I feel like I'm doing a lot more now recently. And like in the last few years, I do it so much more often. I mean, maybe I did do it the same amount of time. It's just that was the one I remembered because I did it so much. But yeah, it's real bad. Like I need to, like, okay, we're done with that then, and like move on to the next thing or something. Like maybe go do a Twitch stream or something. You know, like I think I need to do that instead of just looking for rewatch stuff. Like I guess unless like I really want to watch it. Like if it's just like, oh, I'll watch this rerun, sure. Like, and I'm not that invested into it. Like I think it should be like, all right, and that's enough YouTube time. Again, it's just so hard to like go to someone else's stream. Because another thing too is like I'm not an adult technically. Like I have to remember that too. I'm technically not an adult, age-wise. So like I'm joining this whole like this field that's like dominated by adults. And so like that's also weird to just be like going and taking the initiative when I'm technically a child. It's like I'm sure that barrier also won't be as weird because it's only like a month or 2 months basically left of that, so it's not for that much longer, but still I do have to remember that like my 10-year anniversary of streaming or content creation, both content creation and streaming, will be when I'm 24. I started when I was 14. So yeah, and my 15-year will be when I'm 29, which I think Z's 10-year was when he was 29, right? I think. Yeah, my 15 would be when I'm 29. And I think like 34, which is like the age like a lot of the people like I grew up watching like are getting to now, like that would be my 20. That'd be my 20 year. So yeah. Now obviously like those first like 3.5 years have been a whole lot of nothing for most of it, but yeah, like that's another downside. It's just because like with the sub stuff is like the sub numbers aren't gonna reflect it. It'd be like, oh yeah, like I've been streaming for 10 years, but this like 6-year sub is like the longest, you know. But like you know, it is what it is. That's just a part of it, I guess, at this point, you know. There's nothing I can really do about it. I think it sucks too is I think like you just have to get to affiliate too, and then you have that stuff, which is just you have to get 3 viewers. I can't do that, man. It sucks. I do think though the cookie clicker page might will stand out because I have other stuff going on and it's not just the game. Yeah. I just feel like it's hard for me, like when you care so much about politics, to get into the content creation sphere. Because like, yeah, there is a place where that exists, but like I also want to just have a regular entertainment type thing going on as well. So like it's really hard to balance that. I feel like, because a lot of people get turned off from that. They're just there for entertainment, and then you hit them with serious stuff, like they'll be turned off from it. And it's not great for me. Again, I think there's an audience out there. It's just going to be hard to find. I just have to find it. Which is why, like, yeah, I should probably be doing stuff like this and putting myself in, like, the cookie clicker section, or, like, let me even see, like, Adventure Capitalist. Like, that one I feel like is less idle, honestly, than... Oh, I didn't change the freaking topic of the thing. No wonder. I'm a freaking idiot. I just changed it to cookie clicker, but I didn't change from just chatting. There we go. An idiot. All right. Let me look at Adventure Capitals. There's one person with 1 view. That's not working. I think Bloons Tower Defense 6 was another one I was gonna look at. Oh, there's quite a few people in Bloons actually. Dang. That's crazy. Yeah, not realize it'd be that many. Man. Crazy. Like, I think it's been a minute since someone's actually come in here and like talked. I think the last time was the Mario Party Superstars stream I did. That was the last one. I didn't really do any, like, I don't think I've had anything since then. Like, obviously I've had my friends show up. But like, as far as like someone new showing up, and I think I said last stream too, but like, I think, because there have been a few people that have like come back and seen me. So like, I think if I do get an audience too, like those people would also come back. And like more frequently as well. It's just I have 0 people watching, and I understand it's daunting. Especially with me, because I like talking, right? And having complex conversations, so I feel like it's especially daunting for like someone like to have that one-on-one with someone like me. So like I also understand that. Also might use the bathroom. Did I use my be right back screen? I feel like it's funny, but maybe it's only funny to me, you know? I'll do it. You know what? I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. I feel like also I'm like, you know, I'm also not there anymore if I do it as well. So also I'm gonna use the bathroom. I'll be back. I just realized how quiet the music is, so it probably is actually not helping. Which, speaking of music, I should probably move it over actually. Okay. I think. Yeah, alright. We're good. Actually, wait, hang on. Alright. We're good. Okay. Yeah, I often don't. Usually when I say like, oh, I need to use the restroom, it's like when I really have to use it. That's often when I'll say it. Well, I think when it like I can use on my own will. I guess for this, like, especially on streaming, like it feels different. Like it feels like I have to be there the whole time. Well, I think I said before, it's just because like I have like hour and a half, right? And like I think if I have like a half hour or less left, then I'm just like, well, I feel like there's no point. Like it's better for me just to wait than just use the restroom. But there's an hour left, so that's why I was more alright with using it. I was like, well, that's like a decent amount of time, decent chunk of time still. So yeah, that's why I didn't do it. But yeah, I think get the secret achievement for yeah. I managed a cookie legacy for at least a year. You know, I've like opened the game like 3 times. That's pretty neat. Yeah, I've kind of run out of things to talk about. So what happens when you talk about the stuff for the first hour and a half? And then you run out of stuff from there? And then you open the game. That's the thing though, like I feel like if I did have a chat, this would be the time when I could keep going from them, but I don't. There's a reason why on Blue Sky and Twitter I put my bio as stream or that absolutely nobody watches or something like that. Yeah, it's just because like I feel like that's an important thing to note. Yeah, if I put this stuff on like Blue Sky and like other platforms, then I think that would help. Maybe not YouTube, but in TikTok. Honestly, I think honestly it would just work best on Twitter and Blue Sky at this point. But yeah, I don't know. It was weird because like also seems like doing stuff every day doesn't help the channel. Like it seems like at this point it's like every other day is probably what's best for the algorithm, right? Which is weird. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It is difficult. Oh, so it seemed like all of the Hololive members actually had a PL, or at least like a career before. Like you could feasibly like actually know who they were before they joined Hololive. I thought honestly with like Myth and Council, like I knew some of Myth was like not like that, but I think even before that with like Myth and Council, even like they were like that, and Iris was too, I believe. But yeah, I actually thought like they didn't have like anything like linking them, you know, beforehand, or like they weren't known at all. But yeah, no, I think actually all of them were. Just crazy. Yeah, obviously I don't know them, right? And like I don't think I care too much about that. Like I think the only reason I would know their PLs at this point is like if they did leave, like where to look, or if you still want to see them, right? I think that's really it at this point. Or just kind of like a huh, neat type of thing, you know? That's really it. Yeah. I assume they can't make it like too similar to their PLs either. I mean, I think Gura's PL was still blue, but yeah, I don't think they can make it like that similar. Because I would just want to bring over Liam, but I probably couldn't do that. I probably would have to come up with something new. Well, because I think also from what I've heard, like, they already have like the theme of what they want for the next gen in mind. And so you just kind of have to like make a model, and like they give you a template and you just have to kind of work with the template. And then that's your model from there. Just from what I've heard. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm really just sitting here now. I guess there's at least something happening, so it's like not as noticeable. But like, I'm especially just sitting there. I think it's because like I'm honestly trying to think of stuff and I just can't. Nothing's coming to me. I've used it all up, you know? I don't know what to do. Yeah, I probably should do like Cookie Clicker or something like that. Because I think people are going to watch more for the streamer than they are for the game. That's definitely a big one. It's like idle games. Just who watches idle games for the idle game, you know? I feel like that's just weird. Like, I understand playing the idle game, but just watching someone play an idle game, like, for the idle game. Like, if you want to watch them because they're entertaining, like, I also understand that. But, like, if you're watching the idle game for just the idle game, like, that's... I don't understand. Unless they have some, like, sweet jams in the background, like, I don't understand it. I feel like then at that point, there's probably the OST of it, and so you can just look up the OST. Whatever. Forget the name you have to give it to unlock the console. But they might have also got rid of that. I think they got rid of a few of the achievements from like the Flash version because they weren't possible or something like that. Yeah, I don't remember the activate console commands thing. Yeah, I really played Cookie Clicker a bunch of like my Chromebook in sophomore year. I think freshman, sophomore year was like when I was big, and then I stopped because then I did Jet Punk quizzes. That is a thing I can actually do though, because Northern Lion does Sporkle quizzes. So I can do like Jet Punk quizzes. It's just like, yeah, my trivia knowledge is not as high as his is, so it's not as impressive. I can name every country in the world, but like that's really where it ends, you know. I think I actually did do like at least a segment of a stream where I did quizzes. Was it Sporkle or was it Jet Punk? I think it was naming every country in the world. I think that was really the only one of their like US presidents. So I think it wasn't Jet Punk. Yeah, Jet Punk's definitely, I feel like, more geography oriented for sure. I mean, it could also just be because I only get pretty much the geography quizzes, but yeah, I think there are definitely a lot more geography quizzes on Jet Punk than anything else. Probably combined also, honestly. There are a lot of geography ones. Yeah, I should probably just like do this more. That probably would help with the it going by a bit faster. Because I think we're at a pretty stagnant part here with the cookie clicker. It's pretty stagnant right now. That's the thing though, I feel like the first prestige is always like takes a while, and then once you get a couple prestiges, then like you're just going constantly. Especially the venture capitalists. Like you're just constantly still going. There's like a certain point that you reach. Yeah, I think also listening to music though also would help. I'm just kind of in silence. I think I stay in silence because it helps me like keep my thoughts better. Honestly, because I think before when I was listening to music, like I would always lose my thought. That's why I don't listen to music typically. Like especially like I'm just talking, because like I'm more like it's easier for me to keep my thoughts and on what I'm saying. And even then I still lose my thoughts all the time, but it's at least would be less likely. It would sound more coherent, you know. It's like that's why. Yeah, maybe I could like now. I also need to add more songs to this playlist because there's only like 80, which I guess for like most streams, because I think with like Hololive 2 they have like one song, right? So like that would at least like it's more than what they have, but yeah. I feel like there's still not a lot of variety, especially since like it's the same 80 it has been for a while. Like, I think the newest one I had was Terry's, right? Terry's Super 16. Oh no, it was Eternal Bond. I re-added it. It was a different version. That's what it was. That's an ad. I actually caught the ad too. Wow. I think that was because I was on the thing. It's a 32-second unskippable ad. Jesus. Why is closed captions on? Not that it really matters because I'm not looking at, but oh, they're actually making less lethal self-defense stuff good. I approve. Big fan of that. Oh, and I clicked on the game. So why is this not working? I'm probably off because I'm not listening to it again. Yeah, that was why I said it too, because I knew specials were going on, so I wanted to sing it. I was like, that's probably not where it is in the song, so that's why I went on I had talked about that. Yeah, I'm smelling, because I did ask my mom, and I had this idea, I think even like over the summer of just like, I want to try chili, and then I just completely forgot, and then I think my mom brought like Steak and Shake or something like that, because I always get chili there. And then that's when I was remembered. I was like, oh yeah. Well, I think it was because like also trying stuff too, like finding new stuff to try, and then also like Steak and Shake got brought up, and I was like, oh yeah, I did want to try chili, like homemade chili. Yeah, that's I think what I'm smelling right now. And my mom also wanted me to like not have a heavy lunch. And I was like, I don't think chili could be that filling. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, and she's like, well, I'm gonna serve with mashed potatoes too, but like, I still don't think it could really be that filling. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I guess we'll see with the chili. Cause yeah, I hate being a picky eater. Like, it sucks. And like, the thing is also like, I'm a picky eater in texture too. Like, if it has like any texture, like I just hate it as well. Why like I don't like smoothies. Cause like they don't taste terrible. Like they taste fine. It's just like the texture like brings it down to the point where I don't like it. That's a big thing for me. Is like if it tastes fine but like the texture's bad, then like I don't like it. I don't know if there's something that like I think tastes good but has a bad texture. I don't know if there's been an example of that. Like yeah, I think the best it's tasted like has just been okay, you know, and for it to have a bad texture. I think it's the highest something has hit on that scale. Yeah, I don't know. There's also like Chinese restaurants and stuff that like we should probably try. I know I tried Pan Express like once, I think. I don't remember much about it. I think I wasn't a huge fan of it, but yeah, it was like one item. Back when I was making a presentation like Japanese influence in America, because we would have gotten bonus points if we burned like food from that culture, and so I picked Japan because you know I'm a weeb. You know, I'm so much of a weeb that I haven't watched any anime or read any manga. But yeah, I did Japan, and it's like we were kind of seeing, and there's actually like a Japanese restaurant like here, like close to me. So like I think we were thinking about it, but yeah, we never did it because I think it costs a lot. It was why we didn't do it. Yeah. Just need to try more stuff, man. Like, I'm so happy that, like, I'm a picky eater, but one of the things I do like is, like, broccoli and, like, vegetables. Like, there's at least some vegetables I like, which I'm very grateful for. Because, you know, those are healthy. Especially, like, in garlic butter, too. Because, like, I think that makes it even healthier. And it's like, thank God, dude, I at least like some healthy stuff, you know? Yeah, if I didn't like any of that stuff either, like, that would be miserable. Yeah, luckily I do like them, so we're good. Hopefully my taste buds don't grow to hate them. That would suck. But I think if I were to guess, your taste buds probably adapt to liking more things rather than disliking more things, if I were to guess. I feel like just from what I've heard also, but maybe people just notice and like talk about the stuff like they used to hate and then like more than the stuff they used to like and hate now. I don't know. It could also just be that. Yeah. I mean, I did have the electoral map show up sometimes when I was making or like talking about it, and then I'd stop doing it. I think it's just because like I'm worried I'm gonna dox myself in some way. I think that's the main reason. Even though I feel like I've doxed myself enough, like it doesn't really matter at this point if I dox myself more. But yeah, whatever. You know, just whatever. Yeah, my wrists don't feel great, and it's weird because like I'm doing like form workouts and stuff, and it still doesn't feel great. I assume like, you know, making those muscles better would make it so carpal tunnel isn't as likely. Unless it does the opposite, then if that's the case, what the frick? Why? I hate that. I'm yawning. Yeah, unfortunately, I think some of the stuff that like I was like, oh, I can make this a clip. I think at this point I'm gonna have to go back in because I waited too long. I'll just for there's only one I can remember right now. But I'm sure there's a bunch of other stuff I just don't remember. I guess the thing is also I can at least download, like, re-download those videos, technically, off of YouTube. That's nice. Like, I can at least do that. If I want to look back at older videos and be like, yep, this was funny and clip-worthy. I don't think I'd do that, though. Yawning again. I don't think that's something I would do, but yeah. I just wanted to check if there was another plan. I mean, that's another thing of me listening to it too, is I'd actually be able to catch ads as well. If they're planned. That's another thing. Thing is though, like, once I move out, I think I wouldn't feel as, you know, like, trying to conceal where I'm from. At least, like, I would not be, I guess I would say, because I'm American, and it literally says USA and my freaking Twitch tag. I guess I would, like, say, like, what state I'm from, and be more open about that, but yeah, I think that's probably the most I'm gonna be doing with that. Cause I also realized, like, oh yeah, like, I probably am still gonna have to go back to my mom's house after some college times, you know. Yeah, there's that. That's why I won't say it. I think I won't. Well, yeah, I don't know, because I think state would just be the place. So, like, yeah, I don't know how I could get more specific. I guess I would just be a lot more open to say, like, what state I'm from. Like, once I move out, but, like, I would only say it every once in a while. I still live with my mom or something. I don't know. Yeah. Just kind of sitting here. And yawning. God dang it. Ugh. Yeah, I might end at 2 hours now. Because I've run out of stuff to talk about. I mean, unless someone comes in, but I don't think that's gonna happen. And again, it's really awkward, I feel like, for me to raid. Especially since, oh, I think also it's just because it's one person too. That also doesn't help with it, but yeah, it's not the most helpful. So yeah, I might end at 2 hours instead of 2.5. This thing is also just where I'm at. It's not even interesting either, really. It's a whole lot of nothing. It's like I'm not at the very beginning, and I'm also just like in this weird area over here as well. Weird. I'm just sitting here. Doing all on nothing. I feel like I'm also probably someone who doesn't like weird awkward spaces. Like with like what Mume has. I think I also am someone who has that. Like, just in conversations. Like, I assume for her it works the same way, where, like, she can handle, like, quiet times, right? But, like, in a conversation is when it's awkward. Because I think I'm the same way. And, like, this isn't necessarily a conversation, but it feels like it's the same. I think it's because, though, also, it feels like you just have an obligation to say something. That's probably also why. Like, I have to keep saying stuff. But, like, I think it's fine if I pause for, like, a little bit. Yeah. Like, I might be losing my mind in this case. Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, imagine how crazy that is, dude. That's so crazy. Yeah, I feel like also the Kugler shit isn't there when I need people to like come on and like talk with me here as well. That's something I would want to do. Again, I just don't have one person that I gotta talk to. It's so hard to make friends, man. You have social anxiety. It's so hard. I hate it. Oh, wait. Nope. Dang it. Alright. Need some progress, do you? Yeah, I think my issue was that I did the yapping like before the cookie. That was my problem. I did all the yapping off there. And I screwed it up. Now I'm like not talking about anything. I'm really just sitting here doing nothing. Yeah, I'm really just hearing sounds. I really shouldn't like end it. I'm doing nothing. Again, we're basically at the 2-hour mark. I might just end it because I straight up have nothing else to talk about. Which is funny because I think I've just now got to the point where like we're starting to speed up a bit, but yeah, I'm just gonna do that and go back. That is something I want to do though, like, and I said it before, but like, probably with like the Christmas money my mom wants to spend on me, I'm probably just gonna commission someone to make a stream layout for me, just so it looks good. So like that's probably where I'm gonna spend my money. But yeah. Another thing is all the platforms aren't Will 6464, so yeah, I'll see you Tuesday or something. I don't know. Maybe it's just gonna be me talking again. Probably, honestly, probably. Yeah. See you then. Goodbye.